What's up? another
Hello.
another work sesh here. Joe and Ethan Lupo.
Yep.
How you
Actually
doing, man?
reselling. Just
Actually
making it.
reselling. We were talking about maybe naming if this was ever going to become a podcast. It might be called Actually Reselling. It just seems like it's one of those things. I think to be an entrepreneur, you have to have a little bit of that ADD tendency to be like open to new things, but it also seems like I don't know. I just want to do eBay. I don't want to do all the other platforms or all the other stuff. I just kind of want to do actually just regular reselling. I think there's still a total market for just boring old static sales. So that's what I'm all about. I like the fact that eBay's pretty much completely on your own schedule. And you're all about the scheduling, man. Did you
Oh
did
yeah.
you signed in? You hit the stopwatch when you came down here?
Oh shoot, I didn't.
Oh man.
Thank you for reminding me.
No, I think that was such a
I
cool
have
idea. I've been
to.
thinking about it.
Yeah, I have to
I
keep
really
this
think it's
little like post-it note on here for like when I forget to press the button. So like I let it
mm-hmm.
run 2 hours long the other day to write -2 hours.
I think you're a total pro. I think that makes complete sense. Yeah. So fun. I've got a couple guests scheduled coming up for a couple other work sessions here this week.
Ooh. Yeah, I
Tomorrow
saw
night.
Mr. Graf. Is that right?
Yeah, Josh Graff. We're gonna do it. He wanted to work in the morning, so we're gonna go Thursday morning. We're gonna do a work session together.
Nice.
And then do you know CL Furlong? He's an Australian
I've seen the
guy.
name. Maybe a familiar commenter on some channels I watch.
Cool. Yeah, he's such great energy, so positive. So we're gonna do, and he's on in Australian time, but he was
Ooh.
so put together. He like sent me a Google Calendar link that had
Oh.
all of his availabilities open, and I was able to like book an hour with him essentially. Like, dang, this is so professional.
Does he have
So
Does he have some other business endeavor that would require like such a built schedule like that?
he's got a lot of irons in the fire, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
I'm curious. In fact, I've been writing down questions for him. Literally, that's like on one of my iPhone notes right now, just like random questions. And one of them, I just wanted him to lay out all of his income streams because he has so many. So I'm just gonna make a note. I just made a note to myself right there. That's perfect. Yeah. But yeah, he's got a lot. So he's got a warehouse. And even that, he was just so realistic about it. He was breaking down all the numbers, like it's gonna cost me this much. I think he signed a 3 or 4 year lease. Like he knows exactly what he's getting in for, but he's just like scaling intentionally. And again, for me, I'm like, oh gosh, it just seems so hard. But yeah, I just got a lot of respect for him, and he's like sharing the whole process. Seems
A
fun.
lot of eBay pros over in Australia. Seems like.
Yeah. There is a whole community of YouTube resellers from Australia. Yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to Australian Flipper. I think is the guy that had a stroke recently, but
Yeah, yeah,
I
dude, I
feel so
saw
bad for
that.
that guy.
That was so
Yeah, but he
weird.
seems to.
He's in
All
such
right,
good shape too.
and you can tell because he's already bouncing back. He's back on his feet. He's moving. I mean, strokes are
Yeah.
hard, man. It's so hard. I had a really close family member have a stroke, and it was really quite traumatic. And just like even like seeing just the little bit of like maybe facial paralysis that happens on one side, and it's just sad to see, man. Like it all like, came back. It's a reality for sure. And like he was literally training for a marathon
Mm-hmm.
and like stretching, getting ready to go for a run. They hadn't even gone on the run yet, and then that's when it happened. He's like, I need to go to the hospital now. So
Yeah,
interesting.
I had a nightmare that night that I was having a stroke after I watched that video.
Yeah, it's a
Scared
real
me.
deal. So glad he shared that, and so it's just so cool to be able to share that and like let other people know the signs, like even just the awareness for something like that. That can come on really quick, and people don't really notice. And he seemed like he was really on top of it. Yeah, very very humbling for sure.
I gotta show I gotta show them when I'm listening real quick for all the clothing people. I didn't find this, unfortunately. My brother found it, so I paid him generously. But this is an Aviator Nation hoodie. I don't. It's gonna be mirrored. $8
$8. No, it
for
reads
eight
proper. I can
bucks.
read it.
I don't even
Whoa.
know what the retail price on this is, but it's definitely not in the double digits. There's no way. So resale
Real.
for like $80.
That's awesome. Is that a recent piece or vintage? I don't know anything about that brand.
This is all recent stuff. I think it's like
That's recent?
vintage inspired stuff, some of it.
Okay.
Like they're always gonna have like some sort of rainbow on it like that, like those stripes that were on the chest.
I love that design. Yeah, that logo's cool. It's classic.
Very hard to find. It's been popping up a little bit in the Play-Dohs around here though.
Nice.
Just a little bit. That's one of those pieces it's hard to like for it to actually hit the floor. Like I think when it shows up, the employees buy it for themselves usually.
Yeah, especially if it's like also currently trendy and probably available for a decent deal.
Yeah.
Do you ever negotiate at those places, or do you just pay sticker price?
Oh no, I just pay sticker price.
My brother. I don't even know if that's a thing. Who does?
My brother, the one that found this hoodie. It's like here's a Goodwill, and you found this vintage Patagonia fleece, and it was like a really rare pattern in good condition. It would have sold for like $500-600, and there's like a little hole at the hem, like down at like by the waist. And he like took it up to the counter. They wanted $16. I would have just paid it and left as soon as I could. He goes up there. He's like, "Hey, there's a little hole down here. Can you guys do any discount on it?" So I gave it to him for half price.
Bet. Yeah, the power of the ask. Wow, that's an $8 conversation. That's incredible.
Yeah, I would have been scared that they were like, "Oh, we have to. That's defective inventory. We gotta get rid of that." Like, I don't know. And that sold. I sold it for him. It sold for $350.
Whoa!
Like, I would have been up out of there with that.
Yeah, you're just like making sure no one else touches it. You're like, yeah, I'll hold it. Just scan the tag and good. Okay, great. Yeah. I know that feeling. Especially at the bins when you find something good and I've heard about people having stuff stolen out of their carts. I don't think it ever happened to me. My memory, but I definitely remember hearing about it.
Yeah, I'm super paranoid about my cart at the bins. Like I'll go to the bathroom, I'm like going as fast as I can. Speed running my pee.
Yeah. Like planning each step. Mm-hmm. Okay, 2 paper towels as I'm walking out the door.
Like one thing I do when I'm at the bins, like if I find something, I try to like make sure it's like as least visible as possible. So I've seen so many videos, like someone will pull like a vintage tee, and every single t-shirt bro in the area, like the radar just goes off and they see you holding it and they all just dive in the bin with you to see if it's like anytime I find something, I try to do like a sleight of hand trick where it looks like I didn't actually grab it. In my cart like sneakily.
And my kids love thrift stores. I'm so happy.
Yeah,
like they're always begging to go, and that was always my favorite hobby. Just bike around whatever city I was living in, go to thrift stores. My days off. How's your inventory been recently? Have you getting some good stuff?
I haven't done a big thrift route in probably like 2 weeks or so. So like nothing crazy, but I like to make a lot of like little stops like while I'm already by the stores so I can like save the drive time, you know. It's like I just have like a couple pieces coming in every day that are decent. Like my brother finding me this Aviator Nation hoodie, and then he also got me a Viore hoodie. Like those are great.
Cool.
You know, I just stopped at Play-Dohs because I was just getting my car worked on. It's pretty close to the dealership.
Oh, that's perfect. So you were actually working. Like, that's so good.
A little bit. It's like I got a few good pairs of like Lululemon pants. They got some Buck Mason like selvage jeans. I haven't found anything that's like 150 plus in a while though. I think that's usually like at least for clothing, that's gonna happen a lot more in the winter time when like all like the jackets and stuff are out. Totally. Like right now I'm almost only picking up like shorts and like Hawaiian shirts and stuff. It's a lot harder to find the good pieces when it's warm outside. At least in my part of the country. I think if you live in like on like the West Coast, it's probably easier, but we don't have as much of the good stuff here in Missouri.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like it's like really seasonal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw a video and they found some fake Lululemon. Is that a
Yeah.
thing? Do you come across that?
Oh yeah. Usually the fake Lululemon that like I've seen has always been like really horrible. Um, it's like on a like the Amazon tags I call them, where it's just like a tiny little like piece of paper and it just says the size, like nothing
Yep.
else.
The same with this one. Like it only had the little emblem on the outside, but then it just had a regular, like cheap generic tag when you actually like
Yep.
flipped it inside. Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
that's as far as I've seen with
Cool.
Lululemon fakes. Which I'm always glad when that happens because like at least then I know. You know, I didn't have to
Yeah.
like go do research or something. Like back when I had to do shoes, like I had to know a lot about legit checking, and they were a lot
Oh,
better at faking shoes.
totally. Yeah, my brother just found a pair of Balenciaga sneakers that retail for like $1,500. I'm just like, gotta be careful. I mean, like get it authenticated. Like that's awesome, but yeah, try it out.
Yeah, that stuff like stuff that high end. Like there's a point like I'd see it, I didn't even look at it anymore. It's like, the time I'm about to spend like that just most likely isn't worth it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I kind of like selling, items. I would say at this point in my career, but like under $100, I'm just not that stressed. Like if something goes wrong, I'm like, okay, like it just does. I barely even feel it. And I'm able to stay emotionally kind of level. As you get into those bigger orders, you get nervous. I had a $1,000 sale yesterday where I woke up to a message of somebody saying they wanted to buy like 47 or 46 of my Guitar Hero guitars. So I ended up making a deal for like exactly $1,000. It's fine.
Yeah. Was
But
it mostly ones from that last video?
it was a good deal from that video. Yeah, for sure. It was kind of like a puzzle. He's like, I want all the ones for these systems, but not wired, and then these ones, but not these. And so I had to kind of like pull out all my guitars and figure them out and count them out. And
you solve a riddle to get the sale.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, it's just so much inventory leaving my house.
Yeah.
So good. Like I packed them all into 4 massive boxes with 12-ish guitars each. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, right at $1,000. Ended up paying about $100 for shipping. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully they get there okay. It seemed like the ideal eBay buyer. Literally unsolicited, this buyer messaged me and said, you won't have to worry about any returns. I repair these, so don't worry about it. Because I'm selling them as untested, and a lot of them are in great condition. Most of them are. Like I don't really sell the ones that are in horrible condition. But yeah, for them to be like, hey, you're good. I'm not going to return this ahead of time. Pretty great. So that's encouraging.
That's nice. And you've never run into him before?
This particular buyer, I don't think has ever bought from me. No.
It
could be another.
I know video games are like a big pond, but
yeah, there's a lot of big buyers out there. Just like actual physical game stores. There's even pawn shops that I think specialize in repairing some of these Guitar Hero controllers just because they get so many. And so I've had them buy a bunch from me before. But this is definitely somebody I'm saving that username, and I'll be messaging them next time I list a whole bunch of guitars, being like, hey, you want to buy however many I have? Because they were really clear with the ones that they want. It was really great. Like the first message was basically just like, here's all the ones I want. My offer's $1,000. I'm like, great. mission accomplished. Mission accepted. That was like my morning, was just gathering guitars and packing them up. First like 2 hours or so.
Pretty good 2 hours to me.
Yeah, it's so good. That's not that. Those guitars are fine, but I think they're getting less and less in demand. So I'm just happy to see them go. They don't sell as quick as the other video game stuff.
Do you think they'll ever come back out with those? Like try and make like a little nostalgia run for like all the Guitar Hero stuff?
Oh, I hope so. Yeah.
I think so too. I feel like it'd just be so difficult to get people to jump back in on that.
Yeah, I mean, you can just do it on the Switch. I don't know if it's yeah, like you just need 4 Bluetooth controllers. You could have all the different accessories, and there's just so much opportunity. I really love Rock Band 4.
Mhm.
I think that's the one I have. It's 3 or 4 on the 360 because it has the keyboard. I have this keyboard mounted up here. It's one of the Mad Catz Rock Band keyboards, and you can play in
Yeah.
pro mode. In pro
Oh,
mode, you're actually learning chords, and by the time you work your way up to expert in pro mode, you've learned the actual song. And
that's
it's got
so
a whole
cool.
library of like rock songs and stuff, and like especially piano specific songs, the ones that they enable the piano part on. And not every song even has a piano part in the game, but the ones that do, they'll have a little piano icon you can play. That was kind of fun. I'd love to learn keyboard one day. I was playing guitar with my kids last night because they're obsessed with this Among Us song called Why. And it's so catchy. They're into these like creepy ass Among Us songs. Among Us is creepy, man. There's like murder and betrayal and
Yeah.
blood, and my 2 oldest are so into it, and they're not that old. They're 7 and 8, but yeah, but this song is so catchy. They love it, man. It's so
Is that
funny.
like those the old Minecraft like cover songs?
Oh
You
yeah,
ever know
they've
about those?
watched. They love them. Every single one, every Minecraft song. They love all of them. That and it was kind of like they've run out of Minecraft songs. There's a couple guys that are just massive on YouTube with those Minecraft songs, and a lot of it's rap, a lot of it's like hip hop, and yeah, just like dance music too, and it's fun. I'm thinking about doing a video one day on like a comprehensive guide to all the different fakes that there are for Nintendo Wii products. So I'm just like I've seen
What?
every I'm just like throwing like maybe like 5% of these nunchucks are fake. And these are the ones that passed my
That's
first initial
crazy.
inspection, and they made it into this bin. So they were already good enough to pass. So there's different levels of fakes. It's hard to pick up on them all. The main tell is just the quality of the cable on a real Nintendo cable. It's like soft, it's rubber, it's
Yeah.
malleable, and on the cheaper ones, it's shinier, it's harder, it's more plasticky. So that's a really easy telltale sign. And then they have like the little Nintendo emblems you can check for and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to go over it all. I don't know if it'd be fun for anyone else. It'd be fun for me. I read to the kids pretty much every night as they're going to bed, and we're doing chapter books, and I'm just like counting down the days until I get to read them Harry Potter when they're like old enough to handle like
Yeah.
the trauma that's in Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter's pretty real, especially as it gets later on. But we're reading the Skylanders Mask of Power chapter books right now. It's been so fun. We finished the book, and I love when they include the first chapter of the next book at the end of the book. So you always have to read that one too, of course. It's fun. A little
Yeah.
teaser. The Skylanders lore is deep, bro. It's crazy. That is like got to be one of the most highly funded video game franchises of all time. Like I was just reading the Wikipedia a little bit randomly the other day, and just the budget for the first initial game was over $100 million,
Oh my
which is
god.
that's like similar to like one of the biggest Call of Duty games, which are like
Yeah.
known for being like these super high production games. It's like a Hollywood movie. I mean, that's like a Marvel movie, like $100 million. That's like
Yeah.
Avengers. Like that's insane. And they have like Hollywood actors as the voice actors, and like the production quality is just insane on Skylanders. And you really get deep into the lore because it's almost all original characters. They have a few crossovers, like Crash Bandicoot's in it, Spyro the
Yeah.
Dragon is in it, Bowser's in it. There's a few other like crossover characters, but for the most part, they're all original. But they're so memorable, and like they're so well designed. Not just that they're memorable, and they came up with like hundreds of unique characters. I feel like they did an even better job than Pokemon, like creating these unique characters with
Oh,
like personality and names that are kind of funny but make sense. Like it is similar to Pokemon in a way, but they all have like their own powers, and they have different types, different elements and stuff. But they're also so well designed as action figures. Like there's a couple you
yeah.
can see they even got better. There's a couple on the first generation that have kind of shorter or skinnier arms that get broken off, or they have a couple of weak points, and they really beefed up the design in the later ones where you can like they're just designed well. Like so many of the other ones, like Disney Infinity is a similar property where they have a
Yeah.
bunch of like Jedi and Disney properties. The problem with Disney Infinity, every single one of those lightsabers breaks off. Their little wrists break off.
Yeah.
They're all so poorly designed. Skylanders, like they've built them all with so many things in mind, as action figures and as this IP in this video game with powers and all this stuff. You're kind of supposed to tell what their powers are by looking at them. And dude, Skylanders, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun lore to get into. My 3-year-old, he's not quite old enough to like follow along with the story, but he was actually listening last night, maybe for the first page or two, until one of the little imps, or I think it was a little imp in the story, he Lord Chaos is looking for a match to light this big bomb, and he's asking who has a match, and this little imp says, "I do, Lord Chaos, I do." And then he just literally repeated that line. He decided he was the imp. He went, "I do, Lord Chaos, I do." He just repeated that line literally. I was having to like almost yell just to keep reading to the other kids, and he's just like rolling around in his bed, and he was just like in his own world. It was so cute. And eventually, it became like quite fitting because he was just saying, "I do chaos," which is actually true.
Yeah.
Dude, kids are fun. Our bedtime has been we've turned it into a pretty fun routine. We let them have fun with it. They get to watch like a music video while they brush their teeth, and then we get to go read. So they're usually looking forward to it. It's not just like, I mean, then after that, it is like banish you to your dark room because you have to go to sleep, and we have to go be adults for an hour or two.
Yeah.
But we try to make it fun.
How long do they sleep? I know it's a really weird question. I promise I'm going somewhere with it.
They almost all sleep pretty much from 8:30 or 9, and they all wake up in between 6:30 and 7:30.
Okay. Pretty
So yeah,
decent
like
amount.
9 to 10 hours, something in that range.
I was watching this podcast. They're talking about some scientists like figured out like gene splicing or something. Like they used it to like fix this illness where they made something that went in and like it found like a genetic mutation, like cut that and then replaced it with like the correct gene or whatever. But
Yeah, CRISPR is one of the ones that does that.
yes, that's what they were exactly is CRISPR.
Cool.
They went in to talk about how like some people have this like gene where they can function like perfectly fine off of 4 to 5 hours of sleep. Like that's like a full night of sleep for them. Probably what Tekken
Dang.
Sports has, I would guess.
Yeah. He might just have grit. I think he'd be doing it anyway, but he might have it. Wow, yeah.
So we can go look at his bank statements and see how much he spends on caffeinated products and figure it out. But they got into talking about how like the messy or like the slippery slope of like CRISPR is like people eventually just like paying to have like perfect children, like buying upgrades for your kid. And someone's like,
Dude.
well, like if you had the option to like give your kid this gene where they function perfectly fine on 4 to 5 hours of sleep, like wouldn't you want that? And the other host goes, no, no, I wouldn't. I want to sleep all the time.
Oh, some people would though, and I think that maybe that's going to be their choice, whether we like it or not. Like my daughter actually last night at dinner, she's 7. She asked me if you can pick if your baby is going to be a boy or a girl. And I was like, yeah, you can. Right now, it's pretty hard and expensive. But I bet by the time you're having kids, it might be way easier and cheaper to be able to choose. Like right now, they basically have to do basically in vitro, but first they have to do like a separate separation step and then re-implant the fertilized egg. Pretty crazy.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, I mean, they basically have to just take the sperm and separate them, right? Because it's up to the guy if they're going to be donating an X or a Y, but there's X ones and Y ones. So I think they can just like spin it down in a test tube, or somehow they just separate it by size or weight or something, and just only use one batch of them, whichever one you choose. Yeah, that's cool. Basically, that's what we were like talking through last night. Like Lucy was curious. She's like, "Well, how does that work?" It's cool. Just to like not let it be weird. But yeah, I think it's got to be so expensive right now. But
Yeah.
stuff like that, like stuff like CRISPR, where you can go in live and just edit the DNA in vivo while this, that's the crazy thing about CRISPR is like you can do it in species that are like currently alive. You can like modify your own DNA like slowly over time. It might take a few days or a few weeks for like all of the DNA pieces to get changed out. But essentially, they create this little machine that's just searching throughout your body looking for a certain segment, and it's coded to only switch out a certain segment out of your entire genome. And then if it sees it, it'll switch it out with the new one.
That's so ridiculous.
So cool. Or I don't know if it switches it out or maybe just modifies one of the base pairs. I don't actually know the exact mechanism of how it works, but something like that, where it's like looking for a certain sequence that's just matching it to
I
kind of
can't
like
believe
orient
that's where we're
itself.
at in the world. That's
Bro,
so
I
insane.
know. So cool. There's so much technology, but there's also just like so much disease and diseases still that we just don't know how to take care of. Like still we're, malaria is like the number one tragedies in the world right now. And the main strategy is to go after the mosquitoes, which are spreading it. But it'd be cool if we could just figure out a way to figure out some vaccine or something, or a way to make it to where that mechanism of whatever the malaria is able to do, like, I don't know, it's tough. Sometimes it's a cat and mouse game too. Like it's often a moving target. Like viruses change so quickly over time. Like they can't even do the common cold yet. Like that's such a moving target. Like either like you can get the cold shot and it's like it might work this year. It might or might not. Like we're guessing which cold viruses are going to be prevalent this year. You guys got any travel plan for the summer?
Not this summer. We're taking it easy. Let's see.
That's cool.
Um, we did go to Chicago back in end of April.
Nice.
Like that kind of helped with the itch a little bit. We did multiple things last year. Like, we went to Austin. We went to Chicago as well last year. We went up to Michigan. We stayed on Lake Michigan last year as well.
Oh, cool.
So going a little bit lighter this year.
There's so much of America I still want to travel and explore.
I
Like so many states I've
know.
never been to. There's this guy I follow, Kevin Kelly, that biked across America both ways, up and down and east to west. I'm gonna do that one of these days, I think.
How long did that take him?
I don't know. I mean, probably talking about like around 3,000 miles, at least east to west, right?
Yeah.
And like you can't, over a long bike tour, you really can't sustain more than maybe 50 or 70 miles in a day. And even that can be kind of pushing it. So let's say like 50 miles a day for 3,000 miles. So what is that, 60 days, 2 months at the fastest. Yeah, that's intense. They're turning like bike packing, like they're basically turning routes like that into races. There's one called, I think, the Great Divide Trail or something, and it's like multi-week bike races where the guys, and they pack everything on the bike, and it's just like a balance of balancing sleep and bringing your own food. And I think that you can go to stores along the way, so it's like self-supported. I think most of the big ones are. But yeah, you can't have like aid stations or anything. But you can just like find stuff at normal stores if you're willing to like go take the time to go off course. It's a whole balance of like logistics for like weeks. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want to turn like setting up and tearing down my tent into a speed run, or just like really your entire life for a few weeks is like on the clock. Like, that's pretty intense.
Yeah, that's like maintaining. Like constantly, you have to like remind yourself, like let's go, like sense of urgency for
Yeah.
multiple weeks straight. I got like 15 minutes. That's about it.
And I think like a lot of these endurance races, not everybody's in it for the maximum best time. Like there was at least one guy I was watching that actually brings his dog and has a whole setup for his dog on the bike.
That's
so they're like
awesome.
doing it together, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
That's cool. I got a Tory Richard shirt. First one, very common reselling brand. First one I've ever bought. Doing,
love that.
I don't know, multiple years of clothing now.
That's your
Finally
first
got
one, huh?
I've
What do you
seen them before. Just the other ones I've seen have been too boring. Like they wouldn't really sell for anything. That one had a big old embroidery on the back, so I finally
Nice.
got one.
Right on. That looked like a big one too. Is that a large or an
It
XL?
was huge. I think it's an XL.
Nice.
Might be 2XL. Not just XL, but it's like a. Is this an angelfish? I think it's like one of those fish, like the big old like flowy fins. It says like a fish.
Yeah, that's timeless. Yeah, that seems awesome. How much do you think that'll go for?
About 50.
Nice.
I think I saw a sold comp for that design in a 2XL for 50. So I'll start in that ballpark.
Have you seen that there's kind of a race for all the eBay AI listing apps to all get released now?
I didn't know there was even. I mean, I could assume there was multiple people working on something like that, but I didn't. I'm not in tune with that type of stuff.
Yeah, man. Tech and Sports released one.
Yeah.
And essentially the whole idea is, and he even has it. They've done theirs where he's got his whole reseller ruler for clothing resellers, where you can like have that ruler and he'll take a photo of that. And apparently the AI will be able to input the measurements from that photo. Like, so it's analyzing all the photos for your item and it will just kind of fill it in for you. That was really interesting.
That's smart. And it's based specifically on the reseller ruler.
No, I think it can handle any kind of ruler. As long as the measurement's visible, the AI can kind of figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
I need to work need to work on using AI somehow.
I don't know. I'm not worried about it. I'll let other. I'm not. I've got a. I personally have a rule where I don't introduce beta software into my business ever. I don't install beta software on my phone because I need my phone for my business. Like I'll let other people figure it out. Once I see the blueprint, like I'm making money. Like I'm not like desperately searching for something. Like I got the blueprint, but I already feel like when you sell similar, I already am having the title auto generated. My description already is AI generated within the eBay app, so I'm already getting a bunch of those auto generated features. But there is a little component of data entry that still exists in my job, especially when I'm listing. That would be nice to kind of automate out. I'm just going to assume either eBay is going to develop this themselves, or they're going to buy one or more of these companies and just integrate it into the eBay app at some point. That would be my prediction, which is probably part of why all these guys are like hustling to get an app out there. Because not only is also Tech and Sports was saying they were doing up to 250 listings a minute processing through their system, and they're still in the beta phase. They're still like letting people in slowly. And they have to pay API fees and all that, but they're charging 50 cents per listing. So that's $125 a minute of revenue being generated on that app already, and they're not even in public release yet. Like, respect. That's insane. So cool. So inspiring. And now Josh Galt. I don't know if you follow Josh Galt on YouTube. He's part of the Profit Playbook podcast.
I've watched a couple of his videos, I believe.
Yeah, he just announced he's involved in one as well. Pretty cool.
Does he have the know-how to actually develop it, or is he are you talking sponsorship type thing?
I think he is involved in the business, and I'm sure in marketing and in connections, but I think that they have funding and they also have a programmer. And I think he might be somewhere in the middle there.
Okay. You got to have someone that knows the eBay side at least, yeah.
Yeah, and they said the eBay API is just there's not a lot of apps that work with eBay on the back end. There's so many. apps on the Amazon side, like the auto listers and all those. And I think part of the reason they don't exist on the eBay side is because eBay just doesn't really encourage it in the same way. I think it's a lot harder and more expensive to work with eBay on the back end because you have to pay for API calls. Like every time you query their server for data, you got to pay some amount.
Interesting.
So there is like a fixed cost to one of these apps where they have to pay eBay for every item that you list because eBay's charging you to use their API to list, basically.
Huh. That's weird.
That's where, yeah, you just.
I mean, wouldn't
figure
eBay
it
want
out.
us to list more stuff? There's more things to be purchased and charged a fee on.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You'd think so. But I think a lot of these businesses also want control and the ability to control the listing experience, the ability to advertise promoted listings to you while you're listing your item, stuff like that. They lose that ability if they just like suddenly everybody was listing through another app that just skipped all that, where you never had to log into eBay and see all their announcements and all their, yeah, like again, all their promotions for all these other ways to kind of upsell you. And that's a big part of their business is re-advertising to their sellers.
Do you get the eBay ads for like financing, like business loans and stuff?
Oh yeah, all the time. Yeah.
I always wonder, like, who's using those? Like, what does your business look like that you're taking a loan from eBay?
I think people that have maybe gotten themselves in trouble with payroll, hired employees, scaled too quick. I agree. Otherwise, like, why would you need maybe to just? I mean, I think that the ideal situation would be like you have this perfect purchase of inventory, but it's bigger than you have liquid cash for, and you're like, I'm going to be able to pay this thing off early within a couple of months. I just need to list a few items off of this, truckload or whatever. That would be ideal. I think, but I think the sad reality is a lot of people are probably taking out loans for some kind of ongoing expense just because business is tough and you kind of get yourself in a desperate situation, whether it's, rent or commercial lease or employees, man. Like payroll is you're literally paying another salary. Like people don't realize that. And that's like money that the business has generated that now you don't get anymore. That's somebody else's money. And it can be a huge bill. It can be stressful. We got a couple loans during our time during the restaurant, but that's when we wanted to expand. And the first time I don't know, had a couple thousand followers on Facebook. I don't know. I think we just had the one food cart, and like Facebook was our main social media at the time. And so we just put it out there on a Facebook post, like, "Hey, we're looking for a private investor. But anybody interested in loaning us some money?" And somebody came forward. We ended up working with them multiple times for multiple expansions, and they were just so cool. And they were like, "I want to support, other businesses, and if I can get a reasonable rate, that's a guaranteed return that's similar to what I get in the market, but I'm also supporting something I believe in, and it's also guaranteed, as long as you guys pay up on the payments." And so we were able to get a loan at really reasonable terms. So cool, and use that to expand and get another food cart. But it was way better terms than you'd ever get commercially. Like the APR is going to be twice or three times like a private kind of a deal.
Yeah. Do you mean like literally like the rate would have been like 2 to 3 times more, or just like over time what you paid would have been 2 to 3 more over interest?
Well, I don't know how the math works on interest because I'm talking about just the rate would have been 2 or 3x. I think the actual amount paid on interest could have been even more because they also included really favorable terms like no early or prepayment penalty. So we paid off the first loan, I think, early, and then came back to them and said, "Okay, can we do another one for this at another point?" But yeah, it was so cool. And we just like literally went to a bank, had a notary, we all went into a room and kind of just like chatted it out and like all checked over the papers and signed them. And it was so pleasant. I was like, that's the way to do it. Like there are people out there with money that's maybe just otherwise sitting in a stock market or something. And if you're like, all right, well, I'll give you 8%. But instead of in the stock market, like I'll pay you 8% guaranteed. And maybe I'll give you some benefits in the restaurant or something, or in the business. It's just, social media is powerful. Even back then, it was pretty cool.
You talked about the $8 question when I was talking about the Goodwill discount. That was a that was a lot of dollar question right there.
Yeah, for sure. Like 25K or something was our first name. Yeah, it was so cool. I mean, it's stressful. I don't like being in debt. I don't know if I'd do that again. Yeah, I was just like so in the scaling and scale quick mindset. I'm like, could I not have just waited a couple of months and saved up that money? Like in retrospect, that's what I would do now. Like, why give somebody else some of your profits? And like margins are tough. Now even though like I don't know if the rate was 6% or 8%, whatever it was, like I'm giving away 8% of my profits to somebody else now in the business. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Unless just the opportunity is so good.
Aren't the margins in food service like tiny?
It depends on how you do it. For the way we did it, we were not charging anywhere close to enough. I think the margins can be, but a lot of the upscale restaurants, they use the same ingredients. Like those super fancy restaurants that are charging $50 for an appetizer, like in the kitchen, so often, sometimes they're getting like locally sourced vegetables, but 90% of the time at a fancy steakhouse, it's the same broccoli that anybody else can get at the restaurant supply store. They just figured out a way to get 3x, 4x, 5x the profit. So I think it's just about positioning. And we had such high quality ingredients, but we were pricing ourselves at just margins that make no sense. We did not really talk to anybody. We got the best ingredients we could, and then we just randomly picked prices that seemed fair, like maybe around double our rough costs, but you still have to in that additional. And so we like up to like half, which is actually way too high for a restaurant. Like for a $5 or a $6 order of chicken tenders, we were spending like $3 on those ingredients. Like we were buying really nice chicken, but there's so many other expenses in that other $3 of profit on that chicken tenders. But I got to pay for the employee and the rent and the insurance, and really you want to be like 3x, 4x, 5x your raw material costs at the minimum, and just figure out a way to take basic cheap ingredients and to elevate them to the point where it makes it yummy for people. I always thought about doing a baked potato food cart, because like a good baked potato is just so good, but like it's just it takes an hour to like really bake it and get those crispy edges, but you can hold them, you could hot hold them in a food cart. And it's just like you're taking such a basic ingredient, because we put ourselves in this position where we were buying grass-fed beef and like locally sourced chicken and all the stuff that we were paying twice what a lot of our other food cart people were paying for some of these ingredients, and our margins were still not that good. And like we didn't have premium prices, and I think in retrospect we should have just started off with premium prices and just tried to go for that premium market. Like if we're going to have premium ingredients, it just doesn't even make sense, like branding wise, to have a $5 order of chicken tenders. Like it should be like maybe almost attention gettingly large, like maybe not like $9.75, and people are like, why are they charging $10, almost $10 for chicken tenders? And then you look and you're like, oh, it's organic coconut flour from Bob's Red Mill down the street, it's locally sourced chicken, it's a homemade aioli made with olive oil, not the crap oil that most of the other places are made. It's like we were actually doing good stuff, and I actually think that having really expensive prices could have been helpful because we could back it up, but we were just too shy. Like it was our first business, and like neither Heather or I are fancy, and like we don't go to fancy restaurants, and so it's hard to make a restaurant that you're not, or like to make a business that you're not the customer for. Like it was much more natural just to like choose prices that I would have been, I would have been stoked to get a nice hearty meal of chicken tenders for $5 or $6, but we should have been charging 8 or 9 probably, and just being like, no, like our product is like really high quality, like we stand behind it. And I don't know, a lot of lessons to learn there.
And one thing I've learned is like, especially when it comes to like food stuff, most people have like a very high tolerance for like nonsense. Like, we had some place open up nearby. It's just like a sliders restaurant. They're just serving like slider sandwiches. 3 hour wait for the drive through.
Whoa.
Why? Like you ate your meal, like did something like real quick, and then you're like, all right, now I gotta go get in line for this restaurant for lunch or dinner.
Wow. Yeah, you gotta just you gotta eat lunch and then go get in line for dinner.
Yeah. Like you gotta eat one meal in the drive-through line. By the time you get up to the window, you're ready for the next meal.
Oh, that's great. I think some people like waiting in line, like it's an event. And I've also seen that the anticipation can actually make the event seem a lot more fun. Like the longer you wait in line for a ride at Disneyland, sometimes like the more anticipation. I don't know. And I think
Well,
people
that's
want to feel
definitely
like they're
not for
part of
me.
something. What's that?
I said it's definitely not for me. I'm not the target audience there.
Oh, me either. Back in Portland, that was a big thing. Like a lot of the fancy brunch restaurants would have these massive lines out in the morning. And like people are just like out baking in the sun in the morning, like just waiting to like get like an egg sandwich or something for like hours. What are we doing?
Oh, that's crazy. I
Yeah,
relate
those are
with you on the
interesting.
like not feeling right charging like certain prices though. Like there's
Yeah.
sometimes like I'll have stuff and like it's just the market price. Like I'm typing it, I type it in, I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And it's exactly what the people are paying for these other people's stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, let me knock like $5 off
Yeah. That was, yeah. I wanted, and yeah, it's a shame because it just, you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot doing that. Like it would have been cool just to experiment. Like I feel like we just put ourselves in a hole with the pricing so early. But just like, start high. And if nobody's buying them, then maybe you lower it then. But why not? Like, why not at
Yeah.
least see if you can? It's hard to raise prices.
Yeah.
At least set the expectation high in the beginning and see if you can find your customer base. And because we had a lot of people who had like really great jobs and like nurses and police officers and like people that like would have definitely been able to pay an extra $2. Like and most of our customers weren't there because the product was cheap. Like they were there because the product was good or they have an allergy or something. So yeah, man, there's so much potential profit. Like now that I'm like a little bit more in a different mindset, like wow, like we had a good product, but we just did not maximize profit. And then we just started expanding. And suddenly we have 3 food carts selling these way underpriced chicken tenders. And like, yeah, people like it. Like, of course, like it's great and way too cheap. Like there was no money for us as business owners. Like we had to be working full time to make the thing work. It's tough. There was a little money. We were fine. We always were able to pay ourselves, but we always also had to work a lot. Yeah, I just did the Profit Playbook podcast I was mentioning. And Bearded Picker, he worked at McDonald's as a general manager for 25 years, he said. And he went to, I think it's called Ronald McDonald University or something university, where if you're a general manager at McDonald's, they fly you out. He said it was at Chicago at the time for a 2-week training, all about like how McDonald's works in the background and stuff. I thought that was so fascinating. I really wanted to hear more about it. He said most of what he could remember was just going to Wrigley Field on the weekend. He said on the weekend when training was, they were taking a break. They got to go to a Cubs game.
That's cool. Wrigley Field is such a new place.
Have you been?
Yeah, like you're just walking. It's just like neighborhoods, and all of a sudden there's this big stadium in front of you. Like like there's literally like houses. You can like throw the rock from a front porch and like hit Wrigley Field. It's so cool.
That is cool. That's unique.
Oh yeah.
It's not just acres of parking lots or some commercial districts with like convention centers and stuff.
Yeah, it was super cool. Like we had to go park in a lot, and like they bus you over like close enough that you can walk through.
Oh, interesting. So there are parking lots, but they're not even next to the stadium.
Yeah, no, it's probably like a 10-minute bus ride from this lot over to Wrigley Field.
Wow. What year would you estimate? When did you go?
Oh, that was last summer.
Oh, cool.
I think. Yeah, should have been last summer.
That sounds so fun. It's a piece of history.
Oh yeah.
Baseball is such a great sport as a spectator. Like there's just like so little pressure. You're gonna miss anything. You can just like
very,
go
nice
grab
and
some
relaxed
food,
event.
go to the bathroom, come back. You can just like get fully filled in by everybody else before anything else happens. Like they'll tell you in the next few minutes, like you got time. Yeah, we used to go to Oakland A's games growing up. We were in Northern California.
Yeah.
The Candlestick Park back then, where the Giants played back when I was a kid, was way too expensive. It was insanely expensive. It's a really small field, I think,
That's the
compared to
one
most
like
MLB.
there's like water like out behind the wall, right? Like you
Hmm.
can hit it into the water.
They've since upgraded. I think it's like 3Com Park or something now, but it's still right on the water. But there's way more seats now.
Okay.
Yeah, but people will go out in kayaks and like try to catch the home runs.
Yeah. Yeah, I was really big into baseball as a kid growing up. It's funny. I think I enjoy like actually being at a baseball game more now that like I'm not like as into baseball. It's like I can really with like football. Like I'm into football, and like if the game is bad, I'm sitting there like intently watching every single play. It's like when nothing's happening, I'm like, God, this is dreadful. Like it's just been
Mm-hmm.
I've been like laser focused, locked in this whole time, and nothing's happened. But
Yeah.
baseball, I don't care. So I'm just like having a nice
Baseball,
conversation or something.
yeah. So much of baseball is about the people you're with. It's a unique, it's a different kind of sporting experience. Like the lights are on. Even at like a basketball game, I feel like there's always something going on the field that's like meant to draw your attention. You
Mhm.
get to talk a little bit, but baseball, it's just like you're just there to hang out with your buds. It's
Yeah,
great.
I'm ready to
Yeah.
get some hot dogs, really.
Yeah. Multiple hot dogs. I'm with you. Dude, to this day, Costco hot dogs are pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, that's a good deal. I love
It's a
hitting
great deal.
Costco just for that.
Like choosing to never change the price, you mean?
Yeah, like his quote about like like someone wanted to like change the price, like raise the price, and there's a quote. He'll like be extremely upset at that idea.
Oh wow. No, I haven't seen that. That's funny. Is it still $1.50 for a hot dog and a soda, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm not
That's
a member, but
insane.
I think that's right.
Oh, I love Costco. Yeah, I'm not actually either. We just get everything delivered. So we're doing
Mhm.
exclusively Walmart for the last year or two.
So, I have a buddy that works for Sam's Club, but loves Costco so much he still just has his Costco membership and just shops there instead. Like he
Love
has a
it.
free like Sam's Club membership, but just prefers Costco.
Do you remember a comedy movie maybe 15 years ago? I think it had Dane Cook in it, and it was actually filmed in a Costco, I think, but it was about like warehouse
Was
workers.
it like Superstore or something like that?
I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't remember.
I might know.
Employee of the month.
I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that was a good one. Felt so realistic. It was literally, I think, just like filmed at a Costco, like while they were closed.
Like, is there a scene where like there's a dude like up in a shelf or something? He like built like a little like fort, like
Yes,
a fort on the. It's just
I
his
have a
little like
memory of that too.
personal employee lounge.
Yes, exactly. Up on one of the shelves or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I worked at a Sam's Club for like a month, and one of my jobs was like keeping all the toilet paper and paper towels like pretty and like arranged neatly. It's like I could build one of those right here. I could, and no one would even know I
Yeah.
was gone.
Just make a pathway behind the stack. You have all the dry goods.
Yeah, yeah, that job sucked. I
Oh,
hated
really?
that job more than I hated being in the Chuck E. Cheese suit.
You were in the suit?
Oh yeah, everyone that works at Chuck E. Cheese, if you're not a manager, you all like take turns in the suit.
Oh my gosh. It's like something you
Yeah,
have to do. Wow.
yeah.
Dang. Wait, do you all have to
Oh
wear
yeah,
the
dude.
same sweaty suit or do you get your own?
Yes.
I knew
Like
it.
you
Of course, they're not gonna have a
it's
separate one
funny.
for each person.
Yeah, like there was one dude I worked with that was too tall. It's like you could kind of see like his actual pants, like in between like the Chuck E. Cheese pants. They're just like giant oversized jeans with like suspender like belts on them. And then like if there's a girl in the suit, a lot of time like they'll try and like tuck like their ponytail into the shirt, but, like it'll be sticking out in between the mask and the
Gosh,
shirt.
just seems so uncomfortable.
It is bad. Like if there was a lot of birthday parties and you got stuck out there for a little bit, you could start to feel it. Like, all right, I gotta get out of here, dude.
Did you enjoy at least seeing the joy on children's faces? Did that make it all worth it?
Some days it depends on the day. One thing that I did notice after a while of doing it, every single time I was in the Chucky suit and like some parent like took a picture of like us with the kids, I even though I know they can't see my face, I smiled for every picture.
Oh, you're really committed to the bit. I appreciate that. That speaks well to your character, I think.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Wow. You're really getting into the part. I love that. You're like talking to your manager, like, what are Chucky's motivations for this scene? Like, what kind of mood is Chucky in?
Can you tell me about his childhood?
How long did you work at Chuck E. Cheese?
So I think I worked at the first one for over a year, and then when I moved for college, I worked at one of my college towns for like 3 months or 4 months or something.
Mm-hmm.
That one was so much worse. I couldn't do it.
Oh
Like
man,
the crowd was way rowdier.
rowdier. Was it teenagers or was it just the kids were a different breed over there?
There actually were. It's like there's a lot less to do in this town. So like it wasn't uncommon for like teenagers to go there like on dates. It's like there was
Mm-hmm.
no like
Sure.
Dave
Yeah.
and Buster's in this town.
Yeah.
So it was like really. I think there's like one other arcade. It's really like just Chuck E. Cheese. It's like that was the thing. But I don't know why is so much worse. It was just like the people ate messier, and like part of my job was like I had to go. They don't have vacuums, by the way. Like the whole place is carpeted, but you just have to sweep it all with these crappy little brooms and a little dustpan.
They don't
That
even
was
have
my
those little
job.
manual roller things for like short carpet.
No,
Dang.
It was just like the worst, like little wooden handle broom. It was only like 2.5, 3 feet long, maybe. It was like one of those ones designed to be like one hand. So it was less than 3 feet, judging by my
Oh,
yardstick. It's like just one hand. Yeah, one hand you got your little dustpan, other hand with the
oh.
broom. Oh, it's terrible.
That was the main broom for the location,
Yeah,
or
like
like that
there's
was the
like
one that they recommended.
multiple. Like each like trash like bin location had one stored inside.
Yeah, yeah,
But like
yeah.
that's just what they made us use. It was so bad.
It's
I was
tough. Yeah.
a game technician mostly, and
Oh
oh
wow,
my gosh.
learning the family trade.
Yeah. It's like it was fun when I got to actually like work on games and fix games.
Yeah.
Like my favorite thing I ever did was like there was a little before they got rid of all the tickets. There's like a ticket mechanism that wasn't working. I knew that we had other ones like back in the parts room. I took it back there and I stole a piece off something. I like resoldered something and then it worked. Like that was my favorite thing I ever
Whoa,
did up there.
that's
But
awesome. You know how to solder?
yeah, I did a lot of engineering classes in high school. Like that's
Cool.
what like young me thought I was gonna do.
That's
Ooh, what was
awesome.
that? My AirPods though?
I'd love to learn.
Oh, I just one of my AirPods died. It might switch back to normal audio here in a second.
Oh yeah, cool, no problem.
But
You could
yeah,
just like
that's what
charge one
young
at a
me.
time.
You're right. I should do that. Like I told
The
Joe
audio
this
quality has
earlier.
been
These
great.
AirPods have been sitting in a bag for like 2 years, so they're not properly charged.
That's been
Yeah,
working
young
really
me
good.
thought I was going to be an engineer. That's what I was preparing myself for.
Did you say what kind? Sorry, electrical engineer or?
No, I didn't. I hadn't thought that far.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Cool. Yeah.
I was just good at like making stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I don't really know why. That was back when I guess there was like a shortage of engineers at some point, and this every school was like they're all pushing STEM. Like you should go into engineering. There's a ton of like growing engineering programs in our public
Mm.
schools when I was going through it.
That's cool. That's one thing. I was not exposed to a lot of engineering. Like I loved science, I knew that, but what I really love is applied science. I think I would have been much more in engineering, but I knew
Yeah.
physics wasn't my thing. I think if I had taken more engineering classes, as I love understanding how things work and I love taking things apart. I think it would have been great. And I love math too, honestly.
I enjoyed math because like your answer was either right or wrong.
I always thought that too. It took me a long time. It took me many years of college until I recognized that you also have to play. I guess I wasn't even playing that other game. There's like a political part of college, which is understanding what your professor likes and just
Mhm.
feeding them what they're expecting to get the right grade, especially in the more softer classes, the English classes, the classes that require like essays and stuff. And like, yeah, I was bad at that. I was much more comfortable with like right or wrong answers. But
Yeah.
there's plenty of teachers that if you're looking for the signs, it's really clear. You just write about the one author that it's obviously their favorite and they're going to love that paper. They're like, you can choose any one, but if you're listening, you know which one they really want you to choose. And I don't know, I feel like there's multiple levels to that game of getting good grades.
I'll tell you, college changed a lot for me after. Have you heard of Rate My Professor?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in a while.
Dude, yeah, I was so like, just like stupidly, like for no reason, I was just hard headed about this. I was like, it doesn't matter what professor I take, just my grade's gonna depend on just me. And after like
Mm.
my freshman year, I was like, okay, let me let me try this. And I was picking classes, I was picking my teacher based on the reviews and like, whichever one seemed to be like better at teaching or like just generally nicer or whatever. And my
Yeah.
college experience changed a lot when I started doing that. Finally
Wow,
started
just from
thinking,
that? That's
oh
insane.
God, yeah. Like the workload just got easier. It was more pleasant to be in the classrooms, it's
Huh.
just better to engage with them. I also
I
stopped
was at a
taking
pretty
8 a.m.s. That was dumb too. I
Oh
don't know why I
really?
did
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah, I
I
don't like.
prefer a
I've never
morning
been a morning
class.
person. I was like, oh, I used to wake up at like 5 something for school. This won't be an issue. I don't know
Hmm.
what I was doing.
I loved
Just
it.
like
I
to make
loved
things hard.
college. I
Seems like.
dropped out. I think I've talked about it before. I dropped out of college the first time. I just did not appreciate it the first time. When I came back and I was like taking it seriously, I was like, this is amazing. Just to show up to class. Like that's like my full-time job. Like the cafeteria food. I will never, man, when I'm at some point in my life, when I'm moving into some kind of retirement home and I'm gonna be able to get free cafeteria food made for me again, I just can't wait. And
How
the
long did you
community was
spend in
fun too.
between dropping and going back?
It was not long, either 1 or 2 years. Where I
Okay,
just like basically
not
went
too
went back
bad.
home, stayed at my parents. I think it was just 1 year actually, and yeah, definitely it was 1 year. Yeah, and I worked at this alarm system home theater company for a year, and then had this chance to go to college again. This couple offered to pay for a college. It was like so amazing. So I decided to go where my little sister was going, which I thought would be kind of fun. So
That's
she wanted to
cool.
go to Seattle, so we got to go. So she was starting as a freshman, and I was restarting as a junior, basically.
That's nice.
That was
I
cool.
took
So we had
a
have a lot of the same
semester off.
friends.
When I transferred, I took a semester off. That was very good for my mental. I remember. It was
Yeah.
short lived though, because that one semester I came back ended up being when COVID all started. So then it just went to all
Ah.
online, and then it went away.
That sucks. That's bad timing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was unfortunate.
But like, man, college, you need a strong why. Like, there's so much grunt work involved in almost any kind of college
Yeah,
class, at least the ones I was doing. Just so much, just like doing drills or doing homework or writing the papers, whatever it is. And it's just, you really need a strong why. And like, I just didn't have it the
yeah,
first time. And the second time, I really did.
yeah. I wish I would have worked that question out a little bit more in my head before I went. My why was just like, well, I need something to do. Like I needed some
Totally.
purpose.
Yeah.
I didn't really care about the classes for the most part.
Man, looking back, I feel like so many of the decisions that I made as a teenager was just based on like, when you're, especially as you're like getting towards the end of high school, so many people ask you what you're going to do. Are you going to college? And I feel like I was almost choosing my answers based on the reactions. I was just like, oh,
Yes,
people love when I say I'm
exactly.
going to college. It's like, yeah, I'm going to college. I'm like, oh wow, like I think I am. I'm applying at least. I'm like, wow, but the people are like so proud of you. And then it's like, what do you want to do? And I just started saying, pre-med. And that really impressed people. I'm like, yeah, pre-med. I'm gonna do pre-med. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like kind of feeling it out. It's crazy to have to like ask a high school student to like project yourself for the next 4 years. What do you want to do? And then what do you want to do for the rest of your life? Choose now. That's so hard.
Yeah.
I think being a doctor wouldn't have been the worst thing. I think I could handle it. I'm not like grossed out by blood or anything, and I can like kind of stay calm and stressful. I've thought about it. Like if I actually followed that path, like it wouldn't have been the worst thing.
Yeah, well, that makes one of us.
One of my buddies who took that path and is now really high-end eye doctor, I believe. He's only just now settling into his career. Like it's been like a 12 to 14-year process to actually finish the whole thing. Like it's just
That's
the internships and
insane.
the residencies and it's just so intense.
Yeah. Like I see a lot of people that are like in residency from like Ramit's podcasts. It's like I can't like it always makes me happy to hear like that they're about to get paid like incredibly well. Like you just sound like you've just been eating it for the past like 8 years.
Yeah. There was one couple in particular who just seemed like they had been, just hustling and just grinding for so long. And then he was talking about his field, and he was thinking like maybe up to like 500,000 to 700,000 a year on the high end, or maybe even more if he was able to open his own practice.
Yeah, I think I remember that guy. It was like
That was
dental stuff, yeah.
okay. Got it. So cool. So inspiring. Dude, it's so cool. Ramit said he left a comment on my YouTube video. Still
I know,
glowing about
dude.
that.
I'm
So
geeking
awesome.
out over it. It wasn't even my video.
He must. I bet. I mean, I'm sure. I know he does have a team. But I wonder if he's got a social media team, like scanning the YouTubes for mentions.
Yeah. It's like send him a list like these good videos for you to go engage on.
Yeah, I've always watched that Money for Couples, like the morning it comes out every week. I love that
Oh
show
yeah.
he puts out.
Yeah.
It's gotten me thinking about my childhood. Like when he asks, like, what are the things you heard about money growing up? Like, what are the repeated phrases when money came up? Really, it informs so much. I think of who all of us are. It's so interesting. It's a good question to ask. He brings it back so often to like your family of origin and your upbringing. And yeah, makes sense. You start there. Just like a good therapy session probably would. I feel like the thing I heard over and over again growing up was like people are more important than things. And I think it's because my dad especially saw how much I love things. Like I love gadgets, and I was always wanting the next Game Boy and stuff. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but remember, like if I think we used to watch the old Twilight Zone episodes,
Mm-hmm.
and there's this one episode called Time Enough to Read. And there's this older man, and all he wants, people are always bothering him. I think he had a family. They're always bothering him. Work's always bothering him. All he ever wanted was time enough to read. So wanted everyone to just leave him alone. And at the end of it, this is Twilight Zone. I think there was some kind of nuclear fallout or something. And he comes out, and everyone's gone, and it's just him. And he sits down with his book, and he's about to start reading, and then he drops his glasses and breaks his glasses right in that moment. And then it ends. It was so freaking dark. Dude, Twilight Zone's
Yeah.
incredible. It's like you need people. Like he had like all the things, and then all of a sudden, what? Oh, now you need help. Like now what?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's all about people. I remember that episode so much.
Do you ever go to antique malls?
Sometimes, yeah. I like going to
Yeah.
them. They're just fun
I
to walk
just
around.
started, like, I went to my first one a couple weeks ago. Oh my God, it's so much fun. It's like everyone in there, like a lot of the booths, obviously most of the vendors in there are resellers. By definition, they're reselling at the place. Like tons of people just have all these curated clothes. Like even if I'm not buying them, I just get to go see them. Like, oh, I haven't seen that before. I found
Mm,
this sweet old shirt. This is for an old professional indoor soccer team. I was
indoor
so excited
soccer.
because
That's a
yeah, I
cool
played
logo.
a lot of indoor soccer in my time. So I bought it for myself. It just didn't fit. So now I'm listing
Oh, that's
it.
cool. Nice. I've
Yeah,
always
dude,
wanted to
love
get
it.
indoor soccer. That seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's nice because like my two sports, um, I guess I played the most soccer and hockey, and then indoor soccer is on like a kind of like a hockey rink almost, like with the boards. It's like I can make
Yeah,
like
it's
board
so
passes and
similar.
stuff.
Yeah.
It's like a little combination of my two.
So are you allowed to use the board completely as a tool and as part of the field in indoor soccer? Like you can kick it, bank shots and stuff. Like you're allowed to do
Oh
that?
yeah, yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it seems like so much fun.
I think the only thing you're not allowed to do is if like someone's like trying to get the ball from you and you're like against the boards. I don't think you can like brace yourself and like do something. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think there
Can
is
you
some rule like that.
yeah, can you like kick off the back of the wall for like for momentum, like a
Do like
kickstart?
parkour, like jump off it, like do a flip or
Yeah.
something.
Well, I've seen UFC fighters like run up on the cage and turn around, like use the
Yeah,
cage.
yeah. This will be in my not my next sales video. I'm editing a sales video right now, so I'm gonna
Oh
drop one in like a few
yeah.
days or something. Dude, they've been getting like I'm trying to like hold myself to like a decent standard. I get like editing fatigues. Like I'll put stuff like at the very beginning of the video, then the like last 40 minutes, I just don't do a single thing to it. So I'm trying to like get a little bit farther into my video this time, so I'm editing it a little bit more this time. But
Hey man, I wouldn't I mean, like, I think at the end of the day, what your audience probably wants is just more content and maybe just optimizing a
mm,
little bit for just like whatever's fun to edit. Like if you're setting it up, I don't know, it's hard to set up those expectations for yourself, but
yeah.
I don't know, like try like do people complain when you leave them out?
Oh no, not at all. Like the
Yeah.
most common comment I get like related to like content people want is they just want to see like clothing sales where I'm like providing insights like why something would be valuable or something like that.
I love that too.
But
Yeah.
I want to put like a little bit of like comedic effort into it because like that's the stuff I want to see. I want to see videos like that. There's not a ton of that out there.
Yeah, totally. It's hard to do. That's why, Riff, the editor Riff, who does like
I love
three of the
editor
biggest
riff.
reselling channels, he has to take so much time because he's just putting so many jokes in per minute to just help keep the content that's already good, like help keep it engaging and like, yeah, I think there's a reason. I think he charges a lot. I hope he does. He should because like, man, that's hard to do.
Yeah,
Like he's shown screenshots before of his editing timeline, and like the amount of layers is just absolutely insane.
I believe it. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So not this upcoming sales video, but the one after that. I'll have a sale in there where it's something I bought at an antique mall, and like they had a lot of clothes in their booth. They seemed like to know at least something about clothes. And they had this vintage shirt up there. It was $16, and I sold it in like 3 days for 110.
Whoa, awesome! What kind of
Like,
shirt? Well, I guess, or do you want to save it for the
it's
video? I don't want to spoil it.
I'll put it in here, a little sneak peek. So it was just a graphic T-shirt, short sleeve. It was for some record store called Wax Tracks,
Okay.
and uh, I don't know all the history about it. I didn't bother to research it. Usually, when I find something that's really collectible like that, I like to figure out like why there's a collector's market or some backstory. But this time, I didn't. But the guy that bought it, his eBay name was Wax Track Sam, and like I clicked into it, and it's like collector of all things Wax Tracks Records. So
Cool. Wow, that's
evidently, there's a huge
awesome.
collector's market for this.
Yeah, and you know it's going to somebody who's going to appreciate it, who knows its
Yeah.
value. And, oh, that's cool. I love that.
So I guess the person like, you can look up wax track shirt and you'll see like there's demand for it. I
Yeah,
guess they just didn't like see all the nuances, like realize that there was that much value for like that specific design.
sure. Yeah,
So
just like catching the thrift stores sleeping sometimes.
yeah,
That's where I think eBay can be underrated for building a Rolodex for potential customers too. But that sounds like somebody that, I mean, not that you find a lot of these shirts, but if you find one again, reach
yeah,
out and I'm sure they'd snatch it up.
yeah. I've had people send me messages like that too, like your Guitar Hero buyer. Like, hey, there's one brand specifically, like Foxtrot Zero or something, I think. Just
Huh.
like a graphic T-shirt company, they're not that expensive. And he just sent me a message like, hey, if you ever get any more of these, like, send me a message.
Right on. Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, they get those instant sales. You don't even have to
Yeah,
make the listing, or maybe they just like make the listing real quick and they buy it instantly. That's my favorite.
yeah.
I was considering maybe doing freight, but with all these guitars with the 46
Mm.
controllers, but I broke it up. I think this ended up being way cheaper. I don't think you could even do freight remotely close to $100. I only paid $100 for the 4 labels on these like 4
Yeah,
giant boxes.
yeah. I feel like this freight would be like probably close to like $100 in labor to it. Yeah,
You
maybe
just
for
get a
like a range of
quote.
big pickup or something.
Yeah, you got to arrange a pickup, and usually there's a surcharge if you don't have a dock, because then they need to get a truck that has a lift gate and a like a hand pallet jack kind of a thing. Yeah, I wonder what the guy. I had an order picked up for my house from a customer that I had it scheduled for local pickup, but he scheduled a freight pickup, but I didn't get
Yeah,
to see how much. It was all obscured. I got a like a invoice kind of thing, but I didn't see how much they paid for it to be shipped all the way to like Maryland or something.
I got a Justin Resells type item here.
Oh yeah.
Vintage underwear, baby.
Classic.
2002.
Love it. Yeah, I think I've learned about the value of underwear from Justin Resells too. Shout out just to Justin Resells. Man,
Yeah,
the most relaxing voice of all the YouTube resellers for sure.
yeah.
Great, just great audio quality. I don't know if he's
I
doing
know.
compression. He's doing some of those NPR tricks, I think, on his voice. It sounds so
Mm,
soothing.
yeah, I need to pay him. It's like, hey, can I just come over and like look at your setup?
Yeah. I wonder if he's done how I make my videos. I kind of feel like he has. But something specifically in his audio just has that public radio quality. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
it's like that compression and maybe a couple other like filters he's done. It's nice. I love when he just like turns out the lights, like makes the video go blank and gets all intimate.
yeah.
It's so funny. He's got a sense of humor. So we got 2 weddings coming up this summer. I
Yeah.
just found out one of them is very formal, black tie optional, but like suits required kind of a thing.
Mm,
That's going to be a whole deal. I don't have anything like that. I do not have a full suit anymore.
oof. Shoot, I don't think I do either. Like,
That's
I'd
really
have to be like
funny.
looking through my eBay store, see if I could fit something.
There you go. It's helpful.
Yeah, I love doing that. Like if I'm going to like a sporting event, like I don't usually go to, I'm like, let me look at my store real quick, see if I have some like good fan merch or something I can put on for today.
Yeah, love it. That's really fun. Yeah. I love shopping for my own store.
Yeah. do you do that for like Skylanders?
Oh, I mean, yeah, Skylanders, the kids have full access to. Yeah, basically, most of it we haven't listed. Eventually, we'll list them all in bulk. Right now, we just have beans that the kids are just have free access to. Like, we'll sell a few of the valuable ones as we get them, but most of them, they're having fun playing all the games right now. And they're deep. There's just so much to the games too. And there's the swap force where they have a removable top and bottom, and you can swap all the characters. And so they've created a separate name for each combination character. So each character has like 12 or 15 other combination characters. So it's like this like like so many multiples more. And they've come up with a name that makes sense for that combination and like a unique power set as well. So it's just like they just put so much work into it. It's insane. Swap Force is fun. Oh my gosh. So you mentioned Marvel Rivals last episode.
Yeah.
And I told my 8-year-old about it, and he's obsessed. He's played hours already. He loves it because he was already an Overwatch fan. I just had never told. He's like, wait, what? It's like Overwatch, but it has all of his favorite characters. And he was just really concerned to see if Venom was a playable character. Was so happy to see that he was. And so he and then my youngest, so both my sons are just there like watching it for hours. And he's just like, and he just spends hours. He's so happy there was a practice range. Overwatch has a practice range too.
Yeah.
With destructible buildings too. And he just has so much fun. He just wants to learn all the powers. I think that really is a good way to get a grasp of the game, is to like understand what all the other characters' powers are just by playing them for at least a few minutes. So,
oh yeah.
It's so great. He's like a little scientist.
That's nice. And then there's also like an AI mode. He can like go play against just AI bots in like a normal game. But it's so good. Like even if there's a character like you don't ever plan on playing them, it's nice just to like mess with them in the range so that you know what they're capable of, so you can like counter them when you're fighting against them.
Yeah, so far he loves Venom, he loves Groot, and Iron Fist are his favorites.
Okay.
Is it Iron Fist?
Over here. It is Iron Fist.
Yeah, I know you play Groot and Cloak and Dagger, you said, right?
Yeah, it's probably I've been have you ever heard of Squirrel Girl?
I had never heard of her until recently, but I know she's in the game, yeah.
Apparently she defeated Thanos. I don't know.
That's so cool. Okay. Wow.
But she's so fun because she's so easy. It's ridiculously easy to play her. Her like basic attack is she just has a slingshot and she's just slinging acorns and then they explode when they land.
Love it. Okay, so you get like a little area of effects. You don't have to have it the best aim.
Yeah, it's insane. And like they bounce once before they explode. So you can either hit a person directly, or it'll like bounce off a wall, or you can like skip it on the ground and it'll explode. It's like it's so easy to hit people. And I think they do like 110 damage each. And like all like the DPS characters have like 250 to 275 health. So it's like
2 or 3 hits. Yeah,
you kill them in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I saw that. Then some of the bigger characters have up to like 800 health or so. It's kind of like the range.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I like playing her because she's so easy. Like if I'm like all grinded out, like I'm tired of trying hard, I just play her.
Yeah. Just the precision in aim even alone can be kind of tiring for some characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a character very similar in Overwatch with a bouncing explosives, Junkrat, and sounds similar.
Okay.
So there's a whole he can trigger the explosives as they kind of bounce around. And so there's a whole mechanic where you can put the explosive underneath you, jump on top of it, and then like explode jump yourself to launch yourself into extra areas or over people's heads and stuff. There's like whole combination of moves.
She sounds heavily based on that character because one of her abilities is she can like do a super jump like that.
Okay. Yeah, similar.
It's funny.
My favorite character in Overwatch was Roadhog, who was this like creepy looking, pig-faced, human-bodied creature with like a big old pot belly, and he had a hook shot and a shotgun. And so you could like hook characters. And so I love the environmental maps. And you can hook characters and they'll be brought in front of you. And you can you're stuck in place while your hook shot's being activated, but you can rotate yourself around 360, like with your
Yeah,
mouse still. So you can grab somebody, and if you're on the edge of a cliff, as you're pulling them over, you rotate yourself over the cliff, and you can drop them off of different pieces of the environment. You can get like instant kills that way.
that's
So
awesome.
fun. But also you have a shotgun, so you're just like trying to bring characters close, so you can just like destroy them really quickly.
Yeah, it sounds like I think Rivals must have been copying character kits then, because that's what Winter Soldier does. Get like the hook, and then they gave him some
Okay.
like punch ability, so like you can just as soon as you pull him in, you just hit him with this huge damage punch.
Got it. Yeah, there was some combo I would do for like maximum efficiency. It was like, yeah, it was like melee shot, melee, or something like that. I forget what it
Yeah,
was.
but the feeling of knocking someone off a map though, that just feels so
So
good.
good. Oh my gosh, it's so satisfying. There's one map with a big hole in the middle. And so
Uh,
that's the best one because it's actually just big enough that if you're on the edge, you can get them from across the circle and like bring them in and then just drop them right in the middle of the hole. It's so satisfying. And it's like so fun, like once you get the feel of the character, to know like just the very limit of the distance. Because the other characters are trying to judge that too. Like they're trying to stay out of your hook shot range, but to get them just close enough, like it's probably just pixels. And you'll see people in the chat being like, "You're cheating. There's no way you could have gotten me from that distance." And I'm like, "I just know my character, man. I was probably like right on the very edge of the distance." Oh, it's so satisfying. Yeah, Venom is creepy in that game, bro. It's my youngest said. I think that's a creepy version of Venom. I mean, Venom's always creepy, obviously, but man.
yeah, but they gave him he has a twerking emote in there that you can get. It's so funny.
I did notice a lot of the male characters have like pretty big butts in that game. Often they just like erase the fact that males can even have butts, but
Yeah,
like the males actually have like butt cheeks in that game.
it's funny. I saw a post on Instagram like I think they were flatter and like in when it released, and then like they made an update and people noticed that they like slightly like rounded out on his
Really? They
butt.
did? They
Yeah,
patched in butt size?
I
That's
think
awesome.
so.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
wouldn't even stop at
hilarious.
the male characters. I think just every single person in that game is absolutely cheeked up.
Yeah, the cake edition, the cake update. That's so good. I assume there's like some kind of a loot box mechanic or something. I have not gotten that deep at all, but is there some kind of what's the money
Uh,
element of it?
you can buy skins. There's a battle pass. They don't
Yeah.
have just like straight up drops like that. Um, I don't know. I don't pay attention to a lot of that stuff, honestly. It's like
Yeah.
I don't really care too much for that side of it. I just play the
No,
game.
no, I agree. I
But
agree. Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of challenges you can do. Like my friend is like a completionist. It's like he's trying to do every single challenge he can. Like even if it's for like characters he doesn't play, he's like, oh, see, I have to play this character. Like you don't have to. Like you just want to do this challenge that gives you like 10 currency.
There are those completionists, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been one of those gamers.
Did you ever have a PlayStation 3 or 4?
Not growing up. No, I mean I do now, but no, not growing up.
Yeah, I guess it's on Xbox too, but like you can get like the trophies and stuff. And on
Hmm.
PlayStation Network, you can get platinum trophies, where that's just you complete every single trophy that's available, and then you get platinum the game.
Yes,
And
people
like,
talk about that, right? And how some games are like really easy to platinum, like people just buy them
yeah,
just to like get the platinum or something.
yeah, literally just to say that they platinum the game. Like that's what he
Yeah,
does. Like he's a platinum chaser.
yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people need that extra level, like there are people that travel so they can like taste every burger or like visit every flower garden. And it's like, have you heard of the term MacGuffin before?
Uh-uh.
MacGuffin is a term. It's like it's from TV Tropes, which is a website that talks about like tropes in media and film. And a MacGuffin is the thing that is so often it's like the object that all the characters are going for in a movie because like you need to be going for something, but it almost like doesn't matter as much what it is. You just need something. Like with the it's just like it's like the thing at the end of the tunnel. And I think a lot of people just need
Mm-hmm.
something to go for. It's like it almost doesn't matter what it is, but when it's nothing, it feels pointless. But like I don't know how many people have like probably gone out and traveled so much just because of Pokemon Go. Like Pokemon Go is like
Yeah.
such a good. It might my terminology, I guess, would be a great MacGuffin, just like as an excuse. Like like that is the mission. Like the mission's not really the important thing. The important thing is like going out to a
Mm.
park with your
Yeah.
significant other or something, and I don't know. I feel like yeah, just if that's what it takes to get you going, like I don't know. Try not to hate on it. Like motivation's fleeting, man. So many people. And that's why, like, you see just motivational content on YouTube and stuff. It's just, I think it's almost like perishable. Like people need to be filled up every day with like, I need inspiration,
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think there's different types. We talk about MacGuffins a lot. My wife and I like MacGuffins too. Like we were Pokemon Go players. We had so much fun just like
Yeah.
running around playing this nonsense game. But actually, we were just like having fun together, getting outside, and like
Yeah.
we were recognizing it. Like it's so silly, but we probably wouldn't be going on this walk. But now we're going on this walk because we had this extra reason. That in
Yeah.
5 years, like I'm not going to remember what Pokemon I caught, but I might remember the walk. It's
Yeah.
kind of fun.
That game was really interesting in that like people that didn't even like Pokemon, which like that's me. Like I never played any Pokemon game, but then Pokemon Go came out and I was all about it.
Really?
Yeah, like we were going up, me and my friends were going up to the parks, just hanging
Yeah.
out, just catching
You see so
Pokemon.
many people gathering on their phones. I would just yell,
Yeah.
"Pokemon Go!" People would like cheer, like,
Uh,
"Yeah!" It was so
yeah, like
silly. Like,
I don't think me and my friends have ever talked to more strangers than when we were playing Pokemon Go. We just knew other people were
yes,
there, like also like fighting the gym or something.
so fun. I loved that. Yeah, it really was a whole thing. I'm like, I don't. I've not heard of another AR game since that's really captured people. Like the tech is there, and there's people tried to make other like location based games, but I feel like Pokemon Go is like still fairly active. Like they did it best.
Yeah, I still know people that play. Yeah.
Yeah. Now we had a little phase last year where we were playing Pokemon Go because the kids were into it, and we could like convince them to go on a walk, and go play Pokemon Go. It was awesome. I had some big hitters. I spent all day yesterday listing all the biggest items in my inventory.
Yeah.
So it was all I got it all listed in my store. Every single steering wheel, like driving pedals for driving games, like all the guitars, all that stuff, and drum sets. And there was a drum set I listed for $250.
Ooh.
It was awesome.
Were
Just
they
the
Rock
head
Band
unit
4
only.
ones or?
It was for one of the more modern consoles. I think it was for Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Probably for I don't remember if it was Rock Band or Guitar Hero specific.
Have you ever gotten the Pro Symbol expansion?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, those sell for a lot.
Dude, those are so good.
Have you played? Do you play drums?
Oh gosh, no, I was terrible at the Rock Band drums. I'm just talking about like selling them. Like in the rare event
Oh
that I
yeah,
would
got it.
find them back when I was doing everything, like
Oh,
selling them.
good for
Oh my
selling.
gosh,
Yeah, for
every
sure.
single part is worth money.
Totally.
Um,
Yeah,
I
it's so cool.
I had some, and I ended up. This was like when I transferred my store over to just clothes, and I wasn't trying to ship them again. Like I had sold a Rock Band 4 set before, and just packing it up was such an ordeal. I didn't even want to do it again, so I just sold it on Marketplace. But I
Whoa.
remember looking up comps, and there was a comp for just one of like the little plastic clips that holds the symbol, sold for $40. That was
Wow.
insane.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, especially the pro stuff. Yeah, the pro drums.
Yeah.
I recently got some of the guitars that actually have strings. but they were
Whoa.
so rusty. I really kind of wanted to try it out. It's like they made, I think that like the bridges or like the frets are somehow conductive, so it can tell which string is
Yeah,
being pressed where, and that's how the controller works. So cool. Yeah, I'd love to try it because I think that one there is a pro mode as well. You end up eventually learning the actual song.
that's cool. So I could shred on Guitar Hero.
Oh yeah, I love Guitar
That was
Hero.
my game. Never took the time to learn how to play actual guitar though.
I
I think
love
my
playing
parents
guitar too.
suggested that at some point. Like, how about we just get you a real guitar? I was like,
It's not as fun.
nah.
But once you get over the hump, I'm so glad that I did. Now I know enough chords that often if there's like a song I'm liking, I can go like pick around and play a little bit on the guitar. Like I was able to play the Kids Among Us song last night. I felt pretty proud.
Yeah.
And Heather's really good too. She's so musical. Like most of her YouTube channel is just like herself singing and playing guitar.
Yeah. Hey, she mentioned in that video you guys just did that you were like running a marathon somewhere you went, like when you were flying somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that a couple times. Like
Okay.
last year my two cousins said that they were gonna run. Which marathon was it? Which one did we do together? Oh my gosh, I've done so many that they're starting to blur together. But it was a marathon in California there, and so we
Uh-huh.
all did it together, like all four. It was me and my two cousins, and then one of their good friends, and we ran most of the way together. It was so fun. It was so awesome.
Dude, how many have you done?
Uh, like five.
Sheesh.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The one we did was called CIM, and it ended near Sacramento, but it started off in this small town called Folsom,
Mm.
California. That was cool. And I did the San Francisco Marathon, I think the year before, which where like they like shut down part of the Golden Gate Bridge, so you can go run across the
That's
bridge
so
and then
cool.
up and around and then back across the other way. It was so awesome. I did the Dallas Marathon here in Dallas. That one was fun. And I've done a couple of trail marathons. I like the trail culture better. People are less concerned about the time. Everybody's kind of like helping each other out. It's more just like going on a long, fast hike.
Mm.
I kind of like that feeling a little better. And it's easier on your
That's
joints
cool.
too. I think out on the leaves and the
Yeah.
dirt.
Yeah, dude, I was trying to get into running for a little bit. Like, gosh, I went a couple days in a row. It just hurt.
Yeah, it does.
My knees would be
I see
killing
it.
me.
Yeah, it's like a war of attrition. I see I'm like waging a war on my body for the duration of the workout because like you don't know what part of you is gonna give out. I'm like curious each time. Like, is it my ankle? Is it my knee? Is it my mental? Like, am I gonna get tired of running? Like, you never know.
Yeah.
It's like this interesting kind of like mental and physical battle altogether. Because so much of the time I'm like convinced I need to stop until I actually have a conversation with myself. I try to do it all while I'm still running, and I'm like, okay, what part of me is actually too tired to run? Like I'm like, it's not my feet, like it's not my ankles. Sometimes it's just like your mind, like your I don't know, whatever top
Yeah.
down executive function is just like hard. It's like tired of trying. And sometimes it's just about having a conversation with yourself, like finding a deeper why, or just sometimes distracting yourself. Like, there's so many tricks, but I think it's good. It's just like a good lesson for life. But I think you can get the same benefit from walking or just like walk fast. Like if you walk at 4 miles an hour, you're getting
Mm.
so much of the same cardio benefit with like 0% of the injury risk. Whereas running and jogging is one of like the most injury, like highest injury risk sports. Just like, yeah, running is definitely only for the hardcores, I think, but walking's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's just
I
so
love
good for
walking on
you.
an incline. Just
Like your
take my
heart is a
laptop over
muscle.
there or something.
There you go. Yeah. Wait, you have a laptop? Oh, you got your treadmill right there. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can
I need to
literally
get a treadmill.
it's big enough to hold my laptop. So I'm over there like putting up listings, like editing a video or something.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that. Yeah. And your heart's a muscle. It's so important.
Yeah.
And I'll notice, like when your cardio, like when you don't train, you start to get winded going up the stairs. Like there's like that whole separate system, and it's so different from weightlifting. You know, there are plenty of bodybuilders who also get tired walking up the stairs because they don't train cardio ever. It's a whole different system that I think is just like so important to train in addition to maintaining muscle mass, lifting heavy stuff every once in a while. But yeah, the whole cardiovascular system and breathing deeply, like getting your lungs cleared out, all that stuff's just so important.
Yeah, like I played soccer. It's probably been a year and a half since I last played soccer, and one of my buddies was in town, so we rented out an indoor field, and we just got a bunch of people, and we had just a private game. Oh my god, I was so gassed. Like I would guess I probably work out more than all but maybe like one or two people there, but I was acting like I was one of the most out of shape out of everyone there. The rest of the guys were all still playing in like their men's soccer leagues, whatever.
Yeah.
But I hadn't played in over a year. I was huffing and puffing. My face was so red. It was bad.
I think sometimes that can almost make it worse when you have all this new muscle mass that are like ready to burn those calories initially. So you got an initial boost, but that's not gonna serve you for cardio. Like 15 minutes later, you're gassed, and yeah, that's so hard. Yeah, I watch a lot of the ultra running stuff, and they're out there, but there's just not a lot of people with a lot of muscle mass who are also able to do those like long distances like that. They're definitely out there, and like I love watching those guys. Like, what are you doing different? Like Sally McRae, she's got a lot of muscle mass on her. She does definitely not have like the typical runner's body type, and she's crushing it. She's absolutely world class. Really cool. She's got a podcast with her husband. She does. They're so cool. She's like the most positive person on the planet.
They're just good at everything.
Yeah, I know. Great relationship. She's got kids. She's like a sponsored professional athlete as well. She's got a podcast with her husband. Like, seems like they're doing great. Yeah, and she's like self-aware and funny, and she's awesome. They should get way more views. Their podcast only got a couple thousand views sometimes. She's really like a world-class athlete. Like, she's amazing.
Cool piece here. I don't get a lot of this because vintage Disney stuff is surprisingly unvaluable. I just think there's so much of it. It's like Mickey going up with a huge basketball. This is still only worth like $20, but
really,
I love finding something cool like this though.
Is that maybe like 2000s, like mid 2000s or something? Do you know?
Honestly, I don't know. I've never seen this tag before. It's on a Disney Athletics tag.
Huh.
Usually it's like a Disney store or like Mickey Unlimited you see a lot of. I've never seen this one. It is made in USA though. So usually when I see that, we got single stitch, so it's probably 90s. That's what I would guess.
Cool. That's awesome. It's single stitch. Wow, that's a great find. $20. That's a steal. What size is that?
It was a large.
I might buy that off you, man.
It needs a wash first. You got some yellow pits. Oh.
All right, well, I think I am actually getting starving. I might have to sign off here in a minute and go get some food.
Yeah.
Well, this has been super productive, man. This has been great. I appreciate it. As always, I got done so much. Always fun to talk to you, catch up.
Yeah, I might have set a new record for productivity levels today.
Nice. Yeah, you've been locked in over there.
Like talking about working goes.
Nice. Like good productivity in a good way, you mean?
Yeah, I got my little Chick-fil-A before, so I was all nice and full.
Nice.
So I hadn't worked yet today, so my mental gas tank was full.
There you
I
go.
was ready to go today.
I love that. I do think about it like a mental gas thing sometimes too. I'm very similar. Like I only have like so many decisions I can make in a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like to eat. I'm so grateful. I'm gonna eat the same meals. I'm gonna go cook myself some burgers. I just cook myself the same meal. Burgers and sauerkraut. Get some fruit in there too, probably.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm making myself hungry. I gotta go. I'm just fantasizing about
Hey,
food.
try the peanut butter and jelly on that burger.
Oh my gosh, I told the kids about it and they all thought it was a horrible idea. So I think I'm gonna have to try it first and then I'll
Yeah,
report back.
yeah. Tell them I said they're all wrong.
All right, I'm just gonna try it today. All right, deal. All right, good to talk to you, man.
See ya.
See you.